chance for me to flex. Come on. AP about to come correct for these real OGs giving mad respect. That's right. Here we go, about to wreck it. Lend me your ear just for a second. Gonna hurt them, y'all. Call a medic. House gangsters, we got credit. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. House grew with a flow so fluid. All in batteries included. Shout town and we deeply rooted. That's right. What you see is what you get. By the time that we hit the reset, we go 1, 2, and 3. Represent for the HOUSC. We do work. Let me tell you what's next. Keep it simple, nothing too complex. My name, ALEX, with a flow so raw, no special effects. Hip house is the name of the game. All aboard this funky house train. All aboard. Shot City, we must reclaim that sound that brought this city to fame. Here we go. Won't stop, no, I won't quit. Doper than y'all like to admit. Worldwide, yes. Transmit. Keep it true with another dope hit. What you see is what you get. By the time that we hit the reset, we go 1, 2, and 3. Represent for the HOUSC.
Are you at risk for oral cancer?
I never chew tobacco.
I don't drink much.
Never smoked a cigarette in my life.
You're 3 times as likely to get oral cancer if you drink or use tobacco. What about HPV?
HPV. Isn't that about cervical cancer?
What does that have to do with oral cancer?
You're 30 times more likely to get oral cancer if you have HPV or the human papillomavirus.
HPV? Didn't know that.
Learn more about HPV and oral cancer at myoms.org. This message is brought to you by your oral and facial surgeons.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R.
What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
A message from wildlife biologist Jeff Corwin for American Humane.
Every year, 30,000 elephants are killed by poachers. 8 million tons of plastic is dumped into the ocean, and 18 million acres of forest disappear. And with them, many of the remarkable animals that share our planet. These animals need our help. Their very survival depends on our ability to protect them. Zoos and aquariums are on the front lines of wildlife conservation and inspire environmental stewardship amongst the millions of families that visit every year. And know that zoos and aquariums that have earned the Humane Certified Seal of Approval from American Humane will not give up until every species has a fighting chance for survival. Find out more and help protect and preserve the amazing creatures that share our world.
Brought to you by American Humane.
Reach the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
Hey, we are back with another outstanding show in store for you here on the Booth 312, 88.9 FM, for the best sounds of the underground. And yeah, if you could tell, last week I was coming down with the sickness. Well, I was sick, and Rob is here. He's still under the weather. We're still battling the sickness not from the booth, but just from the winter. So we are live on the air. We do not have our brother on the station in the booth today. Again, Derek Smokin' Jones. So our hearts go out to you, brother. I hope you're feeling better than we are here. And we miss you. So get your butt back in here in the station. That's an order. So with that being said, we got Dave C. What's up, Dave? How you doing?
Yo, how are you?
Good. How was last night? Tell everybody about where you were and what you did last night, brother.
Oh, I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. We had an event in Griffith, Indiana, which was an old school event. Myself, some guys from Classic House Radio, Gabriel Rock the House Rangel from Chicago Cutting Crew, and Liddell Townsend. Wow. He was in the house singing, his great top 40 hits, new, to name one. And
should we call it old now? But,
That's around my neck of the woods. I'm from Gary originally.
Okay, that voice that you just heard is our guest today, Rondell Adams. How you doing today, brother?
What's
Welcome.
up? I'm doing fine. What's up, world? This is Rondell Adams. Peace and love.
All right. Well, we'll be getting into who Mr. Adams is and later on in this segment. But yeah, go ahead, Dave. Finish what you were saying.
So no, it was a good night. Crowded house. Everyone was feeling it. A lot of drinks were had. My headache is still there a little bit, but it's going away.
Okay.
But it was good. It was a good evening.
Okay, good. How you feeling over there, Rob? Yeah, I'm here. He's here. He is, like I said, it's kicking his butt. For those who have had the unfortunate to deal with this flu-like symptoms, it's not the corona. We do not have the corona with Lyme virus up in here. But there is a flu epidemic going on regardless, and it is something massive. So if you haven't got it, good. get your flu shot to protect yourself from it, because this is it's not an eye opener. It's a sit downer. It will put you on your butt, and it's put me on mine, and it's got Rob on his still. So if you haven't had that flu shot, and for you moms that have been thinking about taking your kids to get a flu shot, go get that flu shot done. Don't wait. Don't think we're
get it now, not before, because the early shot was only 40% effective against the virus today. I'm talking about just a regular flu, it was only 40% effective. So if you got it now, it was more effective. If you got it early on, you only had 40% chance. Well, I guess I was under that 40% chance.
I'm wondering, what am I doing here? I'm the only one that's not sick, surrounded by some contagious individuals.
Yeah.
Well, house music is contagious. What can I say?
Good night, everybody. See you guys later.
Well, for those who had tuned in with us last week, we had the undaunting task of announcing the death of Kobe Bryant with his daughter, and
don't forget all the others that were on there as well.
Yes, the 8 others.
Unfortunately, and I get it, Kobe being a celebrity and everything, but there was a lot of other lives that were lost on that day as well. So it wasn't just him.
Correct. And Kobe's wife put out a tremendous statement about the loss of her husband and her child, her daughter. And my hat goes off to the Bryant family and the rest of the families. There was a school teacher who lost his wife on that flight, and
Well, I feel bad about that one daughter. She lost her sister, her mother, and her father on that accident. And that's really got to be traumatizing for a child. It's always said that that's really hard. But yeah, I mean, I guess the hardest thing is like what everybody says though when an adult has to bury their child. Like Ms. Bryant, that's really that's heartfelt. It's one thing we know that we're gonna have to lay down our parents and lay down the rest, but when you have to lay down your child, that should never be. So
right.
Yeah.
That's always the hardest.
You're right. And I take off my hat again to the city of Chicago. They had the place where my 9 to 5, the John Hancock building, was in purple and gold, the lights. The Sears Tower was in purple and gold, so Chicago really did. And then at the United Center, they did a major tribute to Kobe, because I believe his last game in the NBA was against the Bulls. And they did a major tribute to him. The Blackhawks did as well. All of sports took a pause. So, thank you, Chicago, for coming through. Not just for showing the world that we stand united with the other cities in the United States, but we're a classy town, to embrace.
Well, I'm gonna burst your bubble in a minute here. Look, okay, it's a very sad thing, and definitely much love to the Bryant family and all the families, that were lost on that day. But I think they're going to try to go a little too far, and this is what I'm going to say about it. Now, they're trying to, the symbol, the NBA symbol, the what is it called? It's not Running Man. It's the
dribbling
the
guy?
dribbling man.
Yeah.
They want to make it Kobe Bryant. Well, look, there's a lot of great athletes out there that are going to lose their lives, regardless if it's going to be in a tremendous way, a dramatic way, that this had happened, or not. Now, are they going to start doing that for all the other great players and start saying, well, let's make it after them, let's make it after them, let's make it after them?
Well, but why not, though? I mean, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Why not? I mean, he was a great.
If you're going to do it for all of them, I agree.
Do it for all
Not
exactly.
just for the one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
I can definitely 100% with you on
here's
that.
the difference between saying I'm going to do it for one or we're going to do it for all. and we got to get ready to get into our music segment. But I'll just say it like this. If it was another NBA legend who lived a full life and passed away, pay the respects, yes, but I don't say changing the face of NBA like that.
Yeah.
Kobe left not only a legacy, but he touched a lot of people. I mean, more and more that they talk about him on the news, the more and more you find out that during his life, the guy he could have just retired and went off and had a private life, but he was doing things for the kids. Yeah. There were children on there that were going to a girls' basketball game that they were flying to, and his life was cut short. Do I think if there was, and God forbid, I'm not saying something like this tragedy should happen again, because I hope it doesn't, but if there was some, great NFL legend on a plane and something happened, do I see Roger Goodell in the NFL saying, let's put his image up? Negligence. It was something that was out of his reach.
Yeah.
So I kind of argued that, but we'll get back to this discussion in a few minutes. We're going to get into the music, and then we'll come back.
And I want to know if also for those people, if you don't know, today is Groundhog Day. So if you believe in the groundhog superstition.
Wait a minute. Now, I'm going to speak on your behalf, Rob. Rob brought up something that enlightened me last year. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad to be able to, because he's speaking like Clint Eastwood today. But if you recall, last year when Rob brought up about Groundhog Day, it don't matter if the groundhog sees his shadow or not. In 6 weeks, spring's gonna be here regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
So
see, people forget, if the groundhog sees his shadow, you got 6 more weeks of winter. And if he doesn't see his shadow, you got 6 weeks till spring. Guess what? The time is still the same. 6 weeks. So it don't matter either way.
Well, in Chicago, what happened last year? Winter went all the way to May, from what I recall.
and he didn't see a shadow.
I'm like, wait a minute, we're going to, I had to say that exit. Shout out to Travis, DJ Travis. Man, like I did a set at Exit. He promoted there, Travis McDaniel, DJ DSC. But as I was headed there, it was a full-out blizzard in May, man. I'm like, what is this?
Well, hold that thought. We're going to get into some music, and we will be back with yours truly and the rest of the booth with our guest, Rondell Adams.
Turn my mic. Ron.
Yes.
Hold on. Rob, just one time for me say, my darling,
My darling.
All right, I'm good.
With that, we're going to get into some music, and we'll be right back with our crew and Mr. Rondell Adams talking more here on the Booth 312 for the best sounds in the underground.
Tonight's the night we're gonna make it happen. Tonight we'll put all other things aside. Get in this time and show me some affection. We're going for those pleasures in the night. I want to love you, I feel you, I wrap myself around you. I want to squeeze you, believe you, I just can't get enough. And if you move real slow, I let it go. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I know, I want to. I'm about to lose control, 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 and I think I like it. I want to squeeze you, please you, I just can't get enough. And if you move real slow, I let it go. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I know, I want to. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
We are back. We are back. That was our music segment. Hope you enjoyed it. As we promised, we're going to keep bringing you new music as we get it. So if you are an artist out there that is from Chicago or from abroad, but if you're from Chicago and you haven't had your music heard yet and it's on TrackSource, Beatport, on sale where it can be purchased, hit us up here at the booth and get your track to us with a letter giving us the permission to play your music on open live radio, and we will get you in a rotation right here on the booth. So with that being said, we still got Rob alive and well. He's not well, but he's hanging in there. So me and Dave are probably, Dave, and our guests are the only.
Hey, Barry White's still alive and kicking. It's all right.
Yeah. I think you go more so with the Dirty Harry right now. You know, it was coming back to you from last week. You were asking Yvette if she was getting down and dirty with the Suave Sundays.
Somebody calling me Dirty and Harry, huh? Okay.
Harry and Dirty Harry. Okay. Hey, it's fitting right now. You got your glasses on, feeling cool, with your DaBooth hat and DaBooth t-shirt on. How about that?
Feeling lucky.
Go ahead.
Come on, worry about our guests. Don't worry about me.
So with that, we have our guest, Rondell Adams.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the booth.
Thank you.
Now, before I get into your history, big shout outs to you. Big thanks to you, bro. This gentleman came up to me during my set at at Exit the night that I was playing with the legendary Chip E, and introduced himself. It wasn't like it was a prolonged thing. It was a quick introduction. He was giving me dap for enjoying what I was playing. We were just talking about this offline before the show started, that, where I was trying to take the music that night. And Chip, once again, the legend, when you're at that status, you could go and play whatever you want to play.
Oh, yeah.
And he did. He totally surprised me that night playing a tech house techno set. And it was not expected, but then at the same time, it wasn't odd.
Yeah.
It was on point. I would say the music the whole night was on point, but Mr. Adams introduced himself to me and came up with, hey, I want you to hear my tracks because I like what you're playing, and you should check out my stuff so you can play it the next time you get on the decks.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, okay, send them. And I was listening to it throughout the week because I was sick, like Mr. Rob Wade is today, and it was helping me get to and from work.
Dope.
So without further ado, Rondell Adams, welcome to the booth. Tell if you want to speak more on that night, please, by all means you can.
Well, let's expound on that a little bit more.
Okay.
Sir, you was beating the box, and it's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
When I walked in, I said, who is this guy? And Bobby, shout out to Bobby Hernandez. He was like, that's Ron Tinsley. I said, that's Ron Tinsley? And so I immediately go to your Facebook, and he's like, I see Black Thor. I see you. You're stacked up. I said, okay. I said, this guy beating the box. Before you even contemplating on Chippy, you was breaking it down and had it going. You know, I like your song selection. I like your transitions. And it was nothing but good energy that you was putting out.
Thank you.
So that's why I said, and I keep it short and sweet because you're a DJ and I'm a DJ. We don't like people to be bothering us for long. It's not that we're bothering, but we're excited. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
we want to let you know that we like what you're playing and we appreciate it. But I wanted to be short and sweet, like, yo, you gotta play my music. And I immediately went to the messenger and started sending you tracks.
He did. It was like you sent me 7 tracks
Yeah.
right off the bat.
Yeah.
And those 7 tracks, I've been listening to them. I forwarded them over to Rob so we can have him on the show.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was really like, wow, you know, who is this dude? You know? So, you know, I'm a man of my word. And I said, hey, I'm going to bring you on the show.
Yes, sir.
And here you are. So
Yeah.
let's get into your history. Tell the Chicago viewers a little bit about yourself. How did you get into DJing and later on producing, or was it producing first and then DJing?
I come from a music family. My father, his name is Gordon Keith. Okay. If that rings a bell, he is the label head, or was the label head of Steeltown Records, and he is solely responsible for presenting Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 to the world. That's my father. He produced the first single that got them noticed before Motown, called Big Boy.
Okay.
So that's my music background, but I started off as a visual artist. I wasn't into music. And then in high school, you already know how it is. You see girls, your boys dancing, they got a rap group. I said, okay, I can't really dance. I can't rap. So what am I gonna do? And it was like, hey, Dad, buy me a DJ setup, you know, and a little beat making thing. So he gave me my first little DJ rig. Started doing school parties, you know, high school parties, basement parties, graduated to college parties. But all this time, for 20 years or something like that, more like 15 years, I was just doing hip hop and open format. And it wasn't until the 2000s when I started to tinker around with house, and I ended up winning a contest for Power 92 called Chicago's Newest Mix Master. I don't know why I'm not on the station. It's all good. It's all love. And I'm sorry for bringing up another station at another station. But the winner of the contest, I opened up for Frankie Knuckles.
Oh,
so
nice.
We're talking, it was my crash course in house music. I always loved house, played house, but I wasn't aware of the culture of house.
Okay.
And I beat the box. I opened up in front of a crowd of 5,000 people with a rotary mixer. Played the rotary mixer for the first time that night. I was like, what is this? They said, yeah, you got to DJ on that. And it was great. I loved it. It was the first and last time I actually played on a rotary mixer. But the beautiful part about it is what got me into producing house. When I was playing for that 5,000 crowd, I was playing my tracks. I was only 4 house tracks deep at the time.
Okay.
But they were going crazy off of those tracks. And I said, okay, Rondell, you could actually do this.
Okay.
So that's how I started.
Do you remember which 4 tracks you played?
Ooh, I do not. That was 2008.
Okay.
2008.
Okay. With the legend himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, Frankie Knuckles.
Yeah. Who played that night? DJ Nafis actually started the night. I played at the Nafis. What is my guy's name from Chosen Few? The one that has a brother, the brothers.
Andre Hatchett?
Yeah, Andre Hatchett was after me, then DJ Ferris, and then Frankie Knuckles.
Nice.
Beautiful night.
What a lineup.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. So that was back in 2008.
Yeah.
And since then, okay, so let me ask you this. Besides your father,
Yes.
who was your house music influences?
Well, I more favor towards the beat track side. I said if I was to start doing house, I was going to continue the tradition of, I guess, when I came of age, middle school for me was 87, 88, 89, 90. So we're talking, of course, Ron Hardy.
Okay.
We're talking Lil Lewis. We're talking Robert Armani, who was my mentor in the game. We're talking Steve Poindexter, you know, in
Good
the
friend of mine.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And of course, Larry Heard, Fingers
Okay.
Incorporated,
Okay.
Jerk and Jerks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you didn't went right down the list. Bam, 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 bam. Okay.
But I said if I'm going to make house, That's the vibe I'm gonna go with. I seen myself at bars and stuff like that, seeing it like the EDM thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is actually stuff that these guys been doing for years. They just polished it up and made can I be safe saying this? With the EDM, they whitewashed it. They took the house sound and they whitewashed it. I think that, and this is just a side note, that they did that to detach themselves from the Black, Latino, and gay beginnings of house. Okay. I think that's what that was about. And I said, if I'm going to start making this type of music, I'm going to go back to that original sound and do my little wave with it, you know.
I mean, even with, what's his face, who was just getting bombarded by a lot of people by saying he brought house music to the United States.
David Guetta,
even in his interview, he said that they were playing house music in Paris where he was growing up.
Yeah.
And they took from that sound and created EDM.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right that they did take from the foundation of what house music is, and created EDM from it.
Yeah.
Which I find funny to this day. Guys like Tiesto, that were one of the founders of EDM, are going back to the roots of tech house and deep house sounds.
Yes.
So, you know, Tiesto being up in his late 40s or in his 50s, I should say, you know, he's going back to his roots. You know, so that to me is a testimony of you can try to break away, but you're going to be brought right back into the fold at some point. So, okay, so that was your history going into when you said the junior high phase and high school, and then you were playing parties. As an adult, getting into producing, what triggered you to go that direction? And because a lot of times a DJ will stay on this path, but a lot of times the more influential DJs, I would say, start getting into producing. Guys like Derek Smokin' Jones, our resident here. You mentioned Steve Poindexter. These guys, you know, the list goes on. You could go Derek Smokin' Jones, Steve Poindexter, and to Glenn Underground.
Oh, yeah.
And we've had them on the show. We talked about their influences. But the biggest thing for you as a producer, what kind of groundwork do you want to lay for other young producers to be able to emulate off of you?
Yeah. Well, I've actually been running into a lot of young talented producers. I started, I would say, a little bit late in the game as far as my age is concerned, as far as producing and putting out music. But when I started this path, more of the younger crowd gravitated towards me versus the older crowd because of the sound that I have. It's a more energetic, uplifting sound.
Okay.
I am tinkling with some soulful house. Okay. I'm not going to release any of that until I'm very comfortable that I know what I'm doing. And I know with the soulful house is more for a mature crowd or more of a mature crowd. They like it more, I'm trying to say. Okay. But, you know, house is for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you said that, too.
But as far as, like people from around the world, I'm talking about average ages between 20s and 30s. They hit me up all the time telling me that they like my music, that I get them, you know, motivation and everything, you know. And it feels good to do that. It feels very good to do that, you know.
Good. So what are some artists in the soulful community like? Have you thought about reaching out to some vocalists like Cherie Hicks? You know?
I actually work with a very talented singer named Sherelle.
Okay.
If you know who I'm talking about, she's from Chicago. We had a band together, me, her, KM Nelson, and a couple other members called the Ever Afters. We've played at the House of Blues and Reggie's.
Okay.
We've done a lot of covers. We also performed some of our original joints.
All right. And we've had her on the show. What was that, last year, I believe, that she made an appearance here at the booth. So, small world, look at that. Come full circle again, 2020. And, but that's how the house community is.
Yes.
So you got some new music that you're releasing.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
We have the legend Robert Armani and myself. We are now branding ourselves as a duo called the RARA Project, Robert Armani, Rondell Adams. And it is, how can I explain it? This is probably some of the best techno you ever heard. Like, okay, that's being conceited, but it's a good project. We're very top secret about it. Sometimes we'll go on live and brag and say, "Hey, this is the beat right here," but then Herb delete it. But right now we're gearing for a tour, and it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful.
Do you have a release date as of yet?
Not yet. We're trying to figure out. Well, right now we're still in the process of still recording and mixing down and mastering joints.
Okay, well, please let us know once it's done.
Yeah.
And we'd like to have you come back on the show and you can talk more about that release and get it played live here on the air. You're going to be doing a mix for us at the top of the hour.
Most
Are you
definitely.
going to play a lot of your tracks?
I can. I definitely can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let the Chicago heads know, what's coming out. Now, I was asking this earlier. I mean, so do you reside here in Chicago or you're in Minnesota now?
Is I can't say it's complicated, but I stay both. I stay in Minneapolis and I stay in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Fair
like the vibe up there. I did 2 festivals up there and I said, wow, the people here are very friendly. They're very loving. And they're very receptive to the style that I play and my music. And I said, well, why not, build with a whole new group of people? I said, let me try something different. Okay. But then it was just like, okay, I'm still getting calls to DJ here. So it's just like, okay, I'll just do both.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that
Until he
at all.
starts getting called somewhere else, then he'll be going there next.
Well, he's going to Indianapolis too. So he's already getting stretched.
Yeah.
So
I just played South Bend last night.
Nice.
Yeah.
How was that?
Oh, it was dope. It was dope. Shout out to DJ Nico. He's the guy that brought me there. It was very fun. Very fun.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, you got to keep us abreast of what you're doing, bro, because we want to support you here at the booth.
Thank you.
And, we are looking forward to hearing you play. So stay tuned. We're going to get back into some music right quick and allow Mr. Adams to get ready to throw down at the top of the hour. So stay tuned for Rondell Adams here playing live at the Booth 312 88.9 FM WIIT Chicago. We'll be right back with some more music right here after these solo tracks.
graveyard.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
Hey, Doc, over here. Remember me?
Not now, Triglyceride. I'm trying to get everybody to remember you. I'm Dr. Donica Moore. We all know about good and bad cholesterol. But how much do you know about your triglyceride level?
150. Tell him to keep me under 150.
She's right. Experts say normal triglycerides are below 150. Elevated triglyceride levels can increase your risk of heart disease. And if you're a woman, that risk goes up even more.
Don't risk it, people. Heart disease is not pretty.
As you may have guessed, the forgotten fat, triglyceride, is ready to share the attention with good and bad cholesterol.
Good this, bad that. Nah, nah, nah.
For your sake and mine, always remember to ask about the good, the bad, and the forgotten fat, triglycerides.
Hey, Doc, did they get that 150 message?
They got it. For more information on all of your blood fats, go to ForgottenFat.com.
That's ForgottenFat.com.
We all know you're there now. This message brought to you by Sister to Sister, working together for healthy hearts.
Reaching the World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
On the drums. Play with me. On the just like that. Watch me. On the yeah. On the come here. On the yeah. That's right. On the yeah, just like that. Yeah. On the you can't imagine the things I want to do to you. Don't be afraid. On the drums. On the
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Salada.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
All right. Hey, we are back. We are back live with our special guest, Rondell Adams, that just came hot off that mixing press. Hey, man, that was a good set.
Thank you.
For those that are wondering, like, okay, what was that we were listening to? He was playing a lot of your underground techno with a little bit of tech house and some old school, well, a brush up of old school jacking house in there. And when I say old school, I'm not going like, I'm not saying before the 90s. I'm saying that was like maybe 93-ish.
Yeah.
One of the jacking tracks you played.
I played a remix of I Lost Control by Ty Davis too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to who made that? Oh my God. I'm getting put on the spot. Don't kill me, y'all. My dude just passed last year. They did the vocals on that the original track I Lost Control. I believe I'm on the spot enough.
Okay.
How can I violate?
It's okay. It's okay.
Too much of what Illinois has permitted, too much of that going on, you know what I'm saying? I do indulge. Shout out to J.B. Pritzker. No, I ain't into no politics. I ain't no politics. Don't get it twisted.
He did a shout out to the governor right here on the booth.
Hey.
Yeah, you can keep them.
Well, a lot of people are we try to bring different, diverse music to the booth every weekend.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people, once again, I'm glad you cross some barriers, because a lot of people think, well, it's just Ron that plays that kind of music, or that's not predominantly what black folks play. But
yeah, I was going to say, Ron, just call it what it is. Black people don't listen to techno. Black people don't do that. And that's usually that's the stigma that we get. And we hear with Ron, that's what he plays. And it's like, come on.
But they don't want to hear what I play.
But that is my reason for getting into house originally and then techno now is because, for one, we created the music. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Blacks, Latinos, gays, we made this music. And it's a shame how something is just like all the other styles of music, blues, jazz, how we start something and then our youth, it's a double-headed sword where the older ones are not passing the tradition down to the youth, and they're leaving the youth to their own devices. So that's why, like, even with hip hop, how rap has even changed, they're totally ignoring, throwing away the true school hip hop elements. And I can't knock it, you know what I'm saying? But it's like if some of our older heads, our more seasoned ones, was to reach down, like, hey, you're talented. Let me help you with this. That never happened. Same thing with house. Same thing with techno. It went overseas. They took it and ran off with it. Unfortunately,
and, I'll have to give props to the Detroit music sound, because they're the ones that started techno in Detroit, and Detroit is one of the, just like Chicago, that holds strong to trying to keep their sound, and some of the music you heard today was some very deep underground techno that for the average are not used to hearing, and whether you liked it or not, the thing is there's brothers out there and there's some sisters out there, there's some female DJs out there playing their box, and if you're versatile, that's the key, being versatile to be able to play the different genres. People ask me all the time, well, do you play anything other than tech house? Yes, I do. I love playing Afro house. I love playing deep house. I love soulful house. And just because you don't hear me play it every time I'm on the decks doesn't mean I don't enjoy playing it. I love my up-tempo house. Tech house and deep house and the new Afro tech.
Yes.
A lot of people don't give that its props. Guys out there, they'll hear Afro, you first think of Black Coffee, but then when you're talking about Thimba, who will play Afro tech, and a lot of people go, Afro what? Well, it's Afro tech house. And, just because it's not being played at your local club, or just because you don't hear one of the top DJs, well-known DJs in Chicago playing it, doesn't mean that you can't, diverge and educate yourself. But I give my shouts out to Jamie326.
Yeah.
Because Jamie will come and cross lines all the time, and I've never heard anybody openly complain about him. But I'm not Jamie326. I respect where the man's come from and what he's taken to endure to build his name. And big props out to him. The guy when he came to Chicago, I supported him here at Renaissance, and he was crossing all sorts of lines. But that's great.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that some of the older heads were there to hear it, and they were dancing to it. They may not have cheered if you and I was playing it.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was doing what the technical part of a DJ's job is to educate the crowd.
Exactly.
And I love how Dave C plays. I give him kudos.
Thank you.
Every time I get a chance, but we've talked on this, and I love his show. We do our own shows from our homes, and Dave has done some shows where, he's got to play the classic for his crowd, but then he'll go into the new house, and he loves and appreciates new house.
Yeah.
And he tries to educate his crowd as much as he can. But you still have those that are just dead set on what they want to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Now I got a question for you and the guest.
That's as serious as cancer.
As you know me. Do you guys feel all these subgenres of house? Like you just said, there's new tech Afro. Do you think that helps or hurts?
I think it helps. And here's why I say it helps. Because it doesn't allow that genre of music, Afro house, for example, to just be a slave to one sound.
But it doesn't have to be. You're just labeling it, though.
You're right. And the reason why there's a new genre called Afro tech is because it's falling into the tech house side of it, but it's Afro house.
Just name it Afro house.
For marketing purposes, I think the reason why they put it as that is because you have those that are wanting that specific type of tribal sound.
Yeah.
That expectation of at maybe 123, 124 max with the bass line, but then with that tech side to it, it's sped up a little bit more for an underground scene.
Well, I mean, and the reason why I asked this question is because you know the way I play. I'm open format. And when I go to purchase my music, I'm looking for hot tracks. I don't go by what genre or what subgenre. I'm looking for the hot stuff that moves me.
Right.
And if there's not so many genres, not so many subgenres, and it's more of just hot house. I mean, this is what's
Yeah,
booming.
Dave, but you stick around, man. All that stuff's changing as it is. You know, it's being recreated.
Yeah.
You know, these, I'm not going to say the labels, but, you know, a lot of these companies are actually, you know, recategorizing stuff on their own.
Tracks.
Yeah.
You know,
Track
well, that's what I'm
source.
saying.
Beatport,
Track source,
all
Beatport,
that,
all
yeah.
that. They're I mean, come on, you go acid, you know, get our acid house. What we knew of acid house, what it was. What is acid house now to people?
House.
No, no. What is it?
Acid house is now going into your tech house.
Yeah,
Now it's tech.
it's
Thank
actually-
you. That's what I was going to say.
And
so
Yeah, it's
well,
going
that's
to
what I'm
one
saying.
other
They're
thing.
recategorizing
What
it
did
because
I tell
they
you
want to.
about a month ago? Trans is no
Trans is
longer
gone.
there.
They took
Yeah.
trans off.
They
it.
took trans away.
Yeah.
It used to be acid house,
Uh-huh.
house. Then it was techno.
Yeah.
Then you had progressive, and then you had trance.
Right.
There was no electronica.
No.
Electronica was born in the midst of the EDM craze.
Yep.
But electronica had more of a house feel, and it had the lyrics that folks liked in EDM. When you saw the transition, when, like we were saying, when trance fell off, progressive house jumped up, minimal house jumped up.
Electro house
Right.
jumped up.
And people will go, well, what's all that? Well, the best way that I describe tech house is acid house with a little less hard keyboard. Because acid house had that, you know, like that. Right?
How'd it go?
You know, it sounded like computers working.
Yeah.
You know, like that. And then you already had hard bass house already out there with jacking house.
Yeah.
Because acid house and house when you want it, okay, I don't need that much, I don't want to hear no lyrics, I just want to get on the dance floor and dance, you had acid house tracks. But then jacking house came out. And then juke came out.
Yeah.
Juke came shortly after.
Carlos Velasco, you know, added to it too is about Hard House. Hard House was electronic. You know, and it's the same thing. You know, we've seen that in so many of these sub-genres. You know, it just, everything had to be cut down. And why? You know, I mean, there had to be more reason other than, well, the sound was different. No, not all of it is that different.
Right.
Somebody decided, well, I want to rename it now.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a new name. Why? Why keep renaming everything?
Well, I think like with artists, I'm going to take an artist like Cherie Hicks or even Monique Bingham. Monique Bingham will come out with a track that is more soulful sounding, but then there'll be a remix that's a deep house sound, and then there's a remix of that one that is a tech house sound. Because now, if I could cross 3 different genres or 4, I'm going to make that much more money. Why? Because you got a crowd that doesn't listen to soulful, but that will listen to tech house.
Yeah.
You got a crowd that will listen to deep house, that does listen to soulful, that doesn't listen to tech house. So, and the funny thing, when Derek was here, we were talking about this months ago. We were at his house. And so I was trying to explain to the older heads what the difference is what deep house is today versus what deep house was the last time. And when you hear a deep house track, like I was playing a lot of deep house at Exit, a lot of the new deep house that you hear now has a soulful feel, but it's more up-tempo than the BPM is faster than the soulful, a traditional soulful track. And could I get away with playing deep house at Exit? Yes, on that particular night. Other nights that I've played at Exit, I'm not going to go that route. I'm going to go more of your tech house, more upbeat, less lyrics, because the dance floor is feeling the energy anyway. You know, so it goes into depending on where you're playing at.
I want to ask you a question, Dave, as far as like, all of these various genres and stuff. First of all, in my opinion, as long as it's funky in his house, then I'm rocking it.
Amen.
And to be honest, like techno, even that is still house. I mean, really, the origins of techno is house. But I like to expound further on that. Variety is the spice of life, and you can't please everybody.
You can't.
Like when I got off those decks, Dave said, "Hey, good set, but it's not my style. I probably can vibe off of it for like an hour. After that, that's it." I have a certain style of music that I play. But I'll be quite honest, if you had me at the dating game or anywhere else, celebrity or something like that, I'm gonna play for that crowd.
Right.
That's a true DJ right there.
There you go.
Right.
You
That's
got to play for
exactly
your crowd.
And I think as far as genres are concerned, you must know which specific genres that there is. So when you prepare your set, okay, I'm gonna go DJ at the celebrity. Then I better have my soulful house. I better have my classic house. I better have my disco, original, real deep house, and a couple of edits of things that people like.
Right.
That's what I would do. Exit, I'm playing techno. Soundbar, I'm playing. I'm playing tech house. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing tech house. I'm playing progressive house. And it's just about knowing what styles is out there and what goes for whatever crowd you're playing with.
Exactly. I mean, and that's what it boils down to. To have versatility, to be able to play, and like when me and Dave were talking off while you were playing your set, there are DJs that want to play these different genres, but they don't have it in their heart.
Yeah.
Because they're so used to playing one or two genres, and that's what the crowd that they're used to playing for, that they'll grab a folder with tech house in it that they may have grabbed from someone else. And that's the problem. When you have music, I don't pick any tracks that don't move me. I might even have a filler track that might make me go, yeah, because I can roll into a harder track, or where I really want to take a crowd with a track that's a headliner track, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's something that moved me that made me pick it.
Yeah.
So for those DJs that are wanting to experiment, by all means, I'm not saying you shouldn't experiment. Experiment. Listen to different genres, but pick those tracks that move you.
Yeah.
And if it can move you, you could sell it to your crowd.
Yeah.
Because the crowd might be like, I'm feeling you, but where's he going with
Yeah.
this? And as long as you can keep them engaged, that's the number one word, engage. You keep your crowd engaged, then you can sneak a little bit of that in there, pull back a little bit, sneak a little bit more in there, pull back. Give them something that they're used to hearing. And
sounds like sex. All right.
Yeah.
I don't pull back though.
There you go. And you keep them wet on the floor, right?
well, with sex, some give it better more than others. I mean, and so they may not be familiar with what you're giving versus, I'm gonna just stop this conversation right now.
That can relate to DJing too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah.
Everyone's style is different.
Yeah.
You might ride a tricycle or a unicycle, but after a while, you're still riding a bike. So to those DJs out there, again, do not be afraid to experiment. Play at home. See if the stuff moves you. And record it. And if it doesn't feel right, then go into something else.
Yeah.
But
again, sounds like sex.
So how you feeling over there, Rob?
Let's keep moving. I hear some music.
Okay.
I love those shades you got on, man.
No, thanks.
What's it,
Appreciate it, man.
What kind are they? Ray-Ban?
Prescriptions.
What are they? Good question. I got to find out. I'm actually waiting to get my own line out pretty soon.
Really?
Yeah.
We got to talk.
Well, we got a few minutes. So what I'm going to do, we're going to get back into some music until we hit the top of the hour. And then Dave C. will be coming back with a live mix on the ones and twos. Yeah?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, I thought you.
He's itching and scratching over here.
I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna play.
Well, hey, they're smoking hot over there. The ones and twos.
I know.
From our guest. So
Thank you.
He has no problem. I don't see you ever having a problem. Dave.
I'll find something. All right.
Okay. With that being said, stay tuned for more right here on the Booth 312, the best sounds from the underground, 88.9 FM.
do it tonight, but I have a tendency to do. I follow Rush, and Rush will play 2 techno tracks and then come right behind it with 2 disco tracks. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't put that in my crate like that for today, but.
Hi, I'm Lourdes Stefan, host of Univision's Sal y Pimienta. Cancer treatment can steal your beauty, confidence, and self-esteem. It causes changes in your skin and your hair. But Look Good, Feel Better can help. Visit lookgoodfeelbetter.org to find a workshop in your area. Let us help you feel like you again.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bozzy. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Lau.
Hey everyone.
This is Selena.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM Chicago.
And this is fresh.
Swimming pools can be lots of fun, but they can be dangerous too, especially for young children. Always practice simple safety steps to prevent tragedies. Fence all pools. Teach kids to swim. And always watch them around water.
No horseplay.
Simple steps save lives. To learn new life-saving steps, visit poolsafely.gov. A public service message from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission.
Regional World Entertainment presents The Booth. Check us out every Sunday on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Download that free app, tune in, and get the best sounds of the underground with The Booth.
problem is all inside your head, she said to me. The answer is easy if you take it logically. I'd like to help you in your struggle to be free. There must be 50 ways to leave your lover. She said it's really not my habit to intrude. Furthermore, I hope my meaning won't be lost or misconstrued. But I'll repeat myself. At the risk of being crude, there must be 50 ways to leave your lover. You just slip out the back, Jack. Make a new plan instead. You don't need to be
Can you dance?
Allegiance to the house groove. It's the only sound that makes me move. It makes me strong. It takes me high. The music moves my soul, oh, by and by. I pledge allegiance to the house sound. It's the groove that will always be around. So I'm the one sent here to announce that you can't stop the house, the house.
that was taught in our country. We shall all be free. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Shibby-doo, shibby-doo. Shoo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Shibby-doo, shibby-doo. Shoo-doo-doo, shoo-doo-doo. Shibby-doo-doo, shibby-doo. All be free.
Hey, this is Ariana Grande.
What's up, everybody? I'm Bonzi. This is Calvin Harris.
This is Camila Cabello.
Hey, I'm Dua Lipa.
Hey guys, I'm Halsey.
Hey, what's up? It's Loud.
Hey everyone.
This is Salade.
It's Selena.
This is Shawn Mendes.
Hey, it's Taylor Swift.
This is Zed.
This is K-Joy.
This is Vincent R. What's up, guys? Twitch and Scratch. You're listening to Booth 312 on WIIT 88.9 FM in Chicago.
And this is fresh.
We are back. That was Dave C in the mix.
It wasn't. Kind
Yeah,
of.
it was. It was Dave
Kind
C
of.
in the mix. I mean, we had some technical difficulties. I'm sorry we had the mic hot at the very beginning. Hot mic, like a hot potato. But we were discussing with our guest, Randall Adams, Mr. Adams, about, just asking him to share the show up
Yes.
there in Minnesota. So you guys overheard me talking about our radio station policy. And then we had
Man.
a little bit of technical difficulties,
I'm sweating over here.
like a Hebrew slave.
Man.
But, that was, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We are a live recorded show. And what that means is things that happen, we might be able to get a blurb out if there's somebody that's dropping an unoccasional word that should not be said on live radio. We might be able to take care of that, but otherwise, this is live radio. So, there's nothing recorded, no pre-recorded stuff here on the show. It's live. The mixes are live. The DJs, the
only thing
producers.
pre-recorded is the music.
Yes, that you hear in the background playing right behind my voice. So, so just bear with us. Hey, we're not perfect, but we try to bring a perfect show. With that being said, I want to again thank each and every one of our guests. Randall, thank you for coming on, sharing your Sunday with us.
Thank you. It's Rondell, by the way. Sorry.
I'm
about
sorry,
that.
I've
It's all
been
good.
saying it wrong. Rondell. Mr. Adams, how about that?
Yeah, that's
thank you for taking out of your time to come down to the show on a Sunday, especially after beating it up last night.
Yeah.
You and Dave were out there beating it up last night. Some of us were recuperating from being sick or still are sick. as he's opening a bag of Halls, so Halls for his jaws.
That's a special kind of halls there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's that kind for the real sick folks.
Therapeutical.
Medicinal.
Yeah, well, I wasn't sick until you came in the studio. But anyways.
I wasn't sick until I played the night before. And and I'm not saying I got it from somebody, but
Dave, you're next. Anyways, go ahead, move on.
Anywho, so Dave, what do you have coming up this coming week? You have anything?
I'm doing my live show, a Vinyl Affair Mix show on Facebook, Chicago Cutting Crew.
Okay.
I believe I'm off next weekend. I think.
Okay. I was off this past weekend.
Yeah. I'll take those weekends when I can get them.
Yeah, there you go.
We're lucky to be working DJs. I mean, it's a blessing.
I'm definitely blessed and thankful. I myself, I don't have any major bookings other than going to celebrate Peace RTG's 50th birthday.
Word.
Which is this coming Saturday. It's an invite only, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I still didn't get my invite. What's going on, Peace?
He didn't want you coming there sick. But
could have sent it to me before I was sick.
He could have, but he probably went to Miss Cleo, and Miss Cleo was like, no, don't do that. But I've been fortunate to be able to go to his 50th and celebrate his 50th soiree with him on Saturday at a disclosed location. But thank you, Peace, for that. I'm looking forward to that. What do you have going on?
I have nothing major this week or the rest of this month.
Okay.
That just means they need to book you right now.
Yeah, that too. I DJ like at a lot of I do a lot of private parties. I DJ like at a lot of hole in the wall clubs and stuff like that on the off peak times and stuff. My next major event is March 21st at Healer in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And that'll be the first one of me and Robert Armani together.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So right now what we're doing, we're planning a tour throughout the United States for now and planning for overseas after.
Now, is there ticket sales for this event next month?
Yes, there is actually. You can follow me on Instagram, Rondell Adams Official, RONDELL Adams Official, all one word. On Instagram, Rondell Adams on Twitter, and of course Facebook, Rondell Adams. And all the information will be on those three social media platforms.
There you go.
Also Resident Advisor. How can I forget? Yes, go on Resident Advisor, and they should be selling tickets on Resident Advisor for that particular event.
Do we know what the ticket prices are for that?
I do not know.
Okay.
$1,000 each. Yeah, pay me.
Ooh, that'd be nice. That's nice.
No, it's not going to be. It's not going to be
Rondell,
that
make
much
sure
more.
you set me up with that.
Yeah, no kidding. Get us all on that one.
No, I mean, hit me up with that link, and we'll make sure you get put on the website. So
Most definitely. Thank you.
We'll help promote that. And,
Thank you.
Definitely. Like I said, the unity aspect, people talk about it, but we actually do it. It's it's not just talk for us.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I
We'll be happy
definitely
to
will, and
support
I
you,
will
brother.
share the website. I could drop to this is Rondell Adams, and we're at the Booth Radio. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
like I said, I used to do radio, so it ain't nothing for me to speak.
Okay.
And to do it to address the crowd eloquently, as I like to say it.
Nice. Well said. Well said.
Spoken word goes a long way.
There you go. Well, after this, I'm going to swing over to the
I know
Wise
you're a
Owl.
swinger. Okay, go ahead.
As often as he can.
I'm going to swing by the Wise Owl and show some homage to our last week's guest, which was Yvette, at her Suave Sunday event going on over at the Wise Owl that started
That's
at
right.
4 o'clock.
Sloppy Sundays. I mean, Suave Sundays.
Okay.
Suave Sunday started at 4 o'clock. They're kicking it right now. I'm not sure who this weekend's guests are, but I'm going to go by there, show some love. If you are looking for something to get into, especially a place to go have some good food and watch the Super Bowl, Suave Sunday at the Wise Owl.
I still haven't had those wings. Everyone keeps talking about how great their
They're
wings
good.
are.
They're good.
Yeah. I mean, granted, you got to go home because, with everything that's going on, but those wings, you get the hot ones too, man, that'll help burn out some of that coal.
Okay.
I'll tell you that. But those wings are on point. And I might splurge and get some. Are you going over there, Dave?
No, I'm going home.
Okay. Yeah. You
Watch the game with the family.
I heard that. So if you're not up to anything and you are looking for a place to go and celebrate the Super Bowl, go over to the Wise Owl. Join me over there. Say what's up to Yvette. And the crew that's over there. It's an unbelievable crowd on that Sunday night over there at the Wise Owl each and every Sunday. So I'm going to show my face over there, show some love right after the show, and then I will be heading home myself to get myself ready for the grind of Monday in this long coming week. So hopefully it goes fast. But, you know, we are here each and every Sunday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the FM dial, as well as on YouTube. We're on Spotify, TuneIn. We are iHeartRadio, Afrique TV.
Africa.
Yeah, there you go. And many, many more that you can catch the show. And please tell your friends about us. You don't just have to watch us on Sunday live. We love that you watch us live. But at the same time, you can always watch the replay that is on our YouTube page and Facebook up for you to view at any time. So please do check us out. Share us to your fans, your friends, family, and other fans that might become new fans of the show, you know, that are looking for something to listen to and get some new information. We really appreciate it, and we give homage to our fans each and every time we get a chance to. We have some things in the plans. I can't disclose right now, but we have some things coming up this summer for you all to be able to come out and jam with us live. So stay tuned for those announcements coming very shortly. Like I said, Derek's not here. He's dealing with his own sickness going on and his personal health, but he had some things he had to take care of. He's constantly working diligently on making this year's Music Alliance Festival bigger and better than the last one, and the year before that, and the year before that too. So, you know, just if we always say each summer there's something bigger than last summer coming up. But of course, you have your big events, your main events each year, Chosen Few, Chicago House Music Festival. Those are your two big events in Chicago, along with Lollapalooza and all those others. But, you know, Chicago events are
Wow,
really...
you forgot about Taco and Tamale Fest? And you were on it?
No, I didn't finish. I was starting to say, see, you put a commercial break on my HBO station. I was trying to say you have those big events, and then you have other local events like the Pilsen Festival. You have the Taco Tamale Fest. You have the House of Soul Festival, and the list goes on and on and on. I was getting there. I was going down my Rolodex. But, you know, we try to get out there and support. And, you know, if there's an event that you would like our station to be at, you know, and you like what we're doing, please give us a holler right here on our Facebook page, or, you know, leave a message on our YouTube page, and we will get back to you. I know we always take a look at those messages, and we try to run with them, and you know, give us constructive criticism as well. You know, we do have a phone in where you can call in. We're going to start putting that number up on the screen and announcing it each and every show, because if you have something that you like to say, or if there's a guest like Mr. Adams here that you have a question, you could call in. So with that being said, I want to wish everybody a very good week going into this new week. Looks like the weather is nice now. I hope it stays nice throughout the week. And let's get ready for spring. You know, I'm ready for it right now. How about you?
Yeah, why not?
I was ready for it last week.
I was ready for it when it got cold. I was ready. Yeah, please.
Yeah. I'm ready for short sleeve shirts and shorts again.
Yeah.
So,
my body's not ready though.
Your body's not ready?
No, I don't got my summer body yet.
Okay. I mean, me.
Well, the time is now.
Me personally, I'm just like, well.
I don't think I've ever had a summer body though, but you know.
It's summer. It's somewhere there.
Underneath my winter coat.
There you go.
It's in another dimension. You just got to access it.
There you go.
So with that, Rob, you got anything?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay. Nothing nice you got to say?
Nope.
How about mean?
Nope.
Nothing mean? Oh, wow. He doesn't have nothing mean to say either. Wow. How about you there, Dave?
Just for everybody to have a great, productive week. And we'll see you guys here next Sunday, 2 to 5 p.m.
Well, with that, we're not going to keep. Oh, I'm sorry. Our guest, Mr. Adams. Do you have anything?
I just wish everybody to be the best version of themselves ever. Keep your vibration up with this sickness out there. Make sure you drink a lot of water, eat a lot of citrus products, get your vitamin C up. Also take black seed oil. And yeah, all good. Peace and love.
All right. Well, we are going to close out the show from talking and let the music do the talking for us. We will be back here next Sunday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. with our guest from Exit, Mr. Mark Mattress.
Mark.
Till then, enjoy, love you all, and we'll leave you in the house music. House music all night long from the booth.
Say what?
312 88.9 FM on the dial. Have a good week.